Hey book friends, welcome to the video that I love to make every year. It's the video where I announce my reading challenge, the Elevate Your Reading Challenge. I'll pop it up here. This is going to be the 4th year I'm running this challenge. You guys, it's a really fun, really straightforward, like free for everybody to join yearly reading challenge. So in case that sounds like something you might want to participate in 2026, stay tuned and we'll get into all the details. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome back to the channel. You guys, I am so stinking excited to share all this information with you. I feel like this year's challenge is one of the best ones that I have designed, and I'm so excited to read all these books, to have all these discussions with you guys in Discord, because basically this is a 12-month reading challenge where I will have a prompt for every month as well as a buddy read. Now I link the prompt and buddy read. I kind of design them together. So like if there's a favorite author prompt, it's kind of my favorite author, but regardless, I know a lot of people will participate in both. Like they will read the buddy read and then they'll do the prompt. Or maybe they've read the buddy read, so they'll just do the prompt for that month. It's a very loose, easy reading challenge to incorporate into your monthly reading, which is how I designed it. It's what I wanted. So I'm going to link the Discord group down below. That's probably the most important part. Go join that if you haven't already. I feel like it's fairly well organized and easy to maneuver through that platform, but because that's where you will find our discussions. We discuss in Discord. There's no like live video or anything like that. Again, it's a very simple, straightforward challenge. But we will discuss some buddy reads in there or make recommendations to each other for all the prompts and things like that. So find the Discord group down below as well as a Google folder where I will put the challenge graphic as well as the 2026 graphic. And be sure to copy it. Don't just download it because I feel like it went missing out of the folder last year. That's okay. We'll figure it out. But find all that stuff down below. But let's actually get into the 2026 challenge. Like I said, I'm really excited. So here's the graphic for 2026. So let's just go through it month by month and comment down below if you're thinking you want to join on any of the buddy reads or if you're really excited about it. Just comment down below. I want to hear all your thoughts. So for January, you'll see that I have new to you author. So this is a great example of where the buddy read might not apply to you if you're trying to kind of mesh both. But I have never read from T. Kingfisher, and so I'm really excited to try out Sword Heart. So that's the book that will be the buddy read for January. It's been described to me as kind of a cozy romantasy involving a sentient sword where our main character needs the help of the knight that's in the sword that can be kind of called forth from the sword to help her with something. Not quite sure, but I've been wanting to pick this up. And I feel like a new to you author is a great way to start out a year. Like try something new. Try out an author you've heard of, but maybe have not picked up any of their books. All right, moving on to February. I have academic setting. Now I know this is usually a fall prompt, but you know, I wanted to shake things up. I have some other kind of fall adjacent books scheduled for later in the year, but I really wanted to read Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wan, and it's very much a book that takes place at a school. I'm a little unclear as to exactly what's going on. I believe it's more like witches or something like that, but I don't even care. I've heard such amazing things about this book that I think it would be really fun to buddy read in February. But again, the prompt academic setting, you could slot in a lot of different books for that. All right, moving to March. You guys, I'm so excited for this buddy read, but first, let's talk about the prompt. So the prompt is nature on the cover. Now, when I'm writing these prompts, I don't want to include just cover prompts, but this one I couldn't resist because I really do want to pick up the latest Rebecca Ross book called Wild Reverence. And now this is the author of Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. I think this is a book kind of adjacent to that series. I'm not sure if it's a prequel. I'm not sure really how it's associated. I think it has a very similar world. And so I'm thinking of rereading Divine Rivals and finally reading Ruthless Vows prior to getting to this. So I might have that be like an unofficial buddy read within the Discord group if anybody's interested. But this book sounds right up my alley and it has a lot of nice nature on the cover, so it really hits that prompt. It's about our main character of Matilda. I believe she's has messenger magic or something to that notion, but she has to keep it hidden. And for some reason she gets involved with a mortal and he dreams about her or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter really. I want to read it. And so this is going to be our March buddy read. All right, as for April, the prompt is a new release. Now, I'm considering a new release being a 2025 and a 2026 book because otherwise you only have a few months to work with. And I feel like 2025, those books are still very recent. But as for the buddy read, I put in the Abby Jimenez book. I feel like the last 2 reading challenges we have read the latest Abby Jimenez book, and it's been really, really fun. And so this year, her newest book will be called The Night We Met, and her covers, they're always just stunning. And so this is our buddy read for April. I believe the book comes out like later in March, like March 20th or something like that. And so maybe like January or February, I will try and remind people in case they're trying to reserve it at their library to get their holds in for this April buddy read if you want to participate. So that's April. I want to move to May now. So I put another cover prompt here. This is the last one, but I really want to start this series, and that is a celestial item or object on the cover. So we're talking like stars, moons, sun, things like that. I feel like that is a common item on covers, not just fantasy, but like across the board. But I do happen to have a fantasy for our buddy read. And so this is the first book in the Ashen series. It's called The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. And from what I understand, this is the first book in a fantasy-based series with a romantic subplot. I do not believe most people categorize this as romantasy, but it does have romance in it, which I really do appreciate. So we're going to give this series a go. I believe it's like a Viking sort of book. You can kind of tell that from the cover, where our main character is on the run. I think she's being hunted, and her father, like his dying wish was for her to travel the treacherous road of bones. It's haunted by warbands and creatures of darkness, and I think she runs into a group of people. I feel like this series is often described as a traveling adventure questy kind of book, but I could be wrong. But irregardless, we're going to buddy read this in May for the celestial items on the cover. And so now moving into June, the prompt is a book award nominee. So this could be any award systems. I'm using Goodreads because I follow that more closely, but I know there's a lot of different award type systems based on genres. So pick a book that's been nominated sometime. What we are going to read as a buddy read, though, is something I really wanted to read last year, but I never made it happen. And I'm throwing it on here. And I know a lot of people in the Discord are really interested in this book or have already read it and will probably contribute to the discussion. And so the book is called Wild Dark Shores by Charlotte McConaughey. I've been getting more interested in like climate type fiction. And this has to do with like a family that is on a research island, like some sort of scientific research island. They're isolated. It's just a dad and his kids. I'm not sure what happened to the mom, but then there is a woman who washes up on shore, and they like take care of her and they try and figure out like why is she there and what's the mystery around her. So I've heard such amazing things about Charlotte McConaughey's writing, very atmospheric, very character driven, and so I want to read this one. So that's the buddy read for June. Now for July, the prompt is historical themes. So that could be historical fiction, that could be historical mystery, that could be historical fantasy, which is I think the direction this book is leaning. And that's The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. First off, this cover is just like stunning. But what I love about this book is it has like some archaeological subplots. I believe our main character is searching after something, and there's a curse associated with these artifacts, and it has to do with this island. I'm not exactly sure what happens there, but I think it'll be a really fun book to read with others. So that's the buddy read for July. All right, as for August, the prompt is a book in a series. It could be first book, it could be last book, it doesn't really matter as long as it's in a series. It could also be companion type series, so we're talking romance books that are all within the same small town, but yet it's a new couple sort of idea. So take that prompt and run with it where you want to. But for the buddy read, I want to start this series. It's been on my list of series that I've been curious about for years and years, and that's The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Now this series, and this book in particular, has been on so many like best of lists. Like people are like, if you love the fantasy genre, if you love like an academic setting, pick this up. And so I've always been curious, and this is about our main character of Ren. She comes from like a province of darker skinned people or something to that notion. And so she runs up against a lot of prejudice at this like elite military school that she tests into, and people are surprised, I believe, that she tests into it. So she encounters a lot of hardships and pushback at this school, and it goes from there. And I believe this book mostly focuses on the school, and then it goes into more of a war. Like they're actually preparing these students for war, and then the war happens. And so this will be a buddy read. I think it'll be a fun one to buddy read. And the author pulls from some kind of real life type stuff. So I'm really excited for that one. All right, so now moving into kind of like spooky season or the fall time frame. In September, the prompt will be a book with a number in the title. Now, in a previous challenge, we've done color in the title, but never number in the title. And I'm really excited to have an excuse to read this book as a buddy read. And that is The Enigma of Room 622 by Joel Dicker. Now, this is a mystery book. Now, I feel like I love the mystery genre. I just don't pick it up as often as I want to. And so I think this will be really good. I think it has to do with like a murder in a hotel, a Switzerland hotel. It says Joel and fellow guest Scarlett uncover the hotel's long unsolved murder in room 622. I wonder if there's going to be more murders. I don't know, but it sounds really good. So this is the buddy read for September. And then for October, I decided the prompt should be atmospheric book. I feel like the fall is the best time for atmospheric books. And this is another author that I could have put for new to me author that I've been wanting to read for a while. And that is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. Now, I know she has a number of newer books since this one, but this is the one that has intrigued me the most. Her best friend was found dead, and the love of her life, August Salt, was accused of murdering her. But years later, it sounds like she comes back to that community, and there's some magical realism, it sounds like. The morning she wakes, it finds that every single tree has turned color in a single night, and August returns for the first time in 14 years. I've heard such good things about this book, and so we're going to be reading it as a buddy read. So if you also haven't read this book yet, come join us, because I think it'll be a really good discussion. So this is the October buddy read. All right. Last month we're going to talk about, because we always take off December. So the November prompt is a book with multiple timelines. And we are going to read another Alex E. Harrow. We've read most of these books together in Discord. Like, I associate my Discord group with Alex E. Harrow because we've read 10,000 Doors of January. We did an extra buddy read for Starling House, which I loved. Her latest book, which is The Everlasting. And I think this one sounds really interesting. It's like about a lady knight who is historically known to have like saved something or like saved the realm. But then we have a man named Owen who has dedicated his life to understanding like this history. And then he finds himself like drawn back into the past, and he meets her, our main character, of Sir Una Everlasting. It sounds like he realizes that he either has to help her with something, or he realizes that him going back in time impacts her historical timeline that he knows really well. So it sounds like one of those like time bendy sort of books I just find very fascinating, but it definitely has multiple timelines. So it fits that prompt. And so if you haven't read this yet, I hope you can join us in November to kind of close out our year of buddy reading. But that is the last month of official prompts. In December, I always write the prompt to be reading a book that someone has recommended in the group, because like I said, we spend a lot of time recommending books to each other or talking about books, and it's just a really good resource. And I actually also do have a lot of the previous years still in Discord, so you can kind of go back and see what somebody has recommended throughout the years if you so desire for December. But there's no official buddy read. That's usually around the time that I am planning the next year. So I hope you are as excited as I am for this upcoming year for the 2026 Elevate Your Reading Challenge. I think some of these books are going to be really fun to read with each other, the buddy read, as well as it's just a really fun set of prompts that I think you can fit a lot of different books into. So I hope you will join us. Again, everything's linked down below. Join us. It's free. It's a fun community that we're growing over there. But that is all I have for this video. If you have nothing you necessarily want to say, then maybe let's do like some sort of calendar emoji for the fact that this is a year-long challenge. But otherwise, you guys, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to, and I will see you in the next video. All right, guys, take care. Bye.